Welcome, guys, to the Tantric Leadership Podcast. Our guest today is Chef Udin, and I'm super excited to have him today, to have you today on our podcast. And we will talk about his Tantra journey, about a lot of his amazing experiences, his wisdom about female pleasure. And I am as well very, very happy that he will be joining us at the European Tantra Festival next year. Ooh! So, Chef, I would love you to introduce yourself.
Hi everybody, I'm Chef Udin. I am a transformational facilitator. I'm also known as the Yoni Whisperer. And there has been many articles written about the tantric sex guru, which is what I used to identify as. Well, that's what the newspapers used to call me. But now I'm a bit of a rock star. So I'm more into, I'm still a healer and I still give yoni massages, but I'm doing more fun stuff. Getting into the wellness industry, but also into the mainstream, getting this original biohacking called Tantra into the mainstream. So that's my mission.
So what is more fun than being a yoni guru?
You do something over and over again for 10 years. I describe it like a brain surgeon. When they're in surgery, they're just talking about their golf swing whilst doing a very delicate operation. And that's where I am. I'm an expert in my field, in the field of sexual trauma. And it doesn't I've systemized it in such a way that the method can help any woman who can't reach an orgasm or has a condition called anorgasmia, which is the inability to have an orgasm by yourself or with somebody else. But that's a diagnosis that should be taken away out of the dictionary and also out of Google, because everybody can have an orgasm, and you know this. It's like, yes. As long as you can breathe, you can have an orgasm. So yeah.
So I'm super curious about some secrets you have revealed during 10 years of being a Yoni Whisperer. I'm sure that you know much more about female bodies and pleasure, female pleasure, than many women out there. So is there anything like you can share with them, how they can connect deeper with their bodies, like come out of their minds, come into their hearts, come into their yonis, and receive more pleasure in life?
So all I teach is anatomy, good old-fashioned education that we never got taught. So do you know, and your audience, do you know where your G-spot is? Most people do. Do you know where your A-spot is? Now your A-spot, if you stimulate that, that is where the Amrita comes from, also known as squirting. And 100% of women can squirt. And it's not urine. Trust me, it's not urine, because if you're activating it and you go for a pee and there's nothing left in your bladder, you come again and then you activate it again and you feel like you want to pee, but pee doesn't come out.
And it does smell very different.
It does. And also you could flood the bed, go and have dinner, come back, and it will dry.
Oh.
Have you noticed that?
No, I haven't.
So it just dries super quick. Yeah. It's fascinating. It's like,
it's a different liquid, yes.
Yeah, it's a completely different liquid. There's also the cervix. Mm-hmm. Cervical orgasms are the holy grail of orgasms, also very healing. And if you actually de-armor the cervix, you could have a higher possibility of having an orgasmic birth. That is an option. There's the Kundalini area, which is your tailbone being stimulated from the inside. And if you activate that, you could shoot Kundalini energy up your spine. It's very interesting to witness this. And also there's multiple ways to stimulate the clitoris. I did a funny reel the other day, which was 15 ways to stimulate a woman's clitoris. Or you could just ask her.
Yes. If she knows.
If she knows, and wants. A lot of people don't know.
And what brings her pleasure. So
exactly. So due to this lack of education, I will always be in business.
Me too.
Yeah. And also the lack of connection that's happening in the world. and the more separation that's happening in the world, Tantra is more needed than ever before, especially around intimacy, relationships, and when you go into that sexual pleasure.
And I remember when both of us were on Copenhagen during pandemic, we had this vision that Tantra would be the new yoga. What is happening to this?
It's happened. I did a viral video. I'm actually a pioneer in the field of Tantra. 2017, I released a video with a major TV channel that got Tantra into the mainstream. So Tantra is now in schools. Tantra is in the mainstream.
Wow, in which schools? Because in Germany it's not, and this is one of my dreams
exactly.
To have a proper education in schools.
Yeah, so my friend former lover in Finland, she's managed it. They just call it something different: somatic awareness, somatic content. It's basically Tantra is everywhere. It's a bit like cryptocurrency and bitcoins and blockchain that's slowly in everyday society, but no one knows it's all being used. It's just technology. Same with Tantra. Tantra is everywhere. Mindfulness is Tantra. Pranayama, breath work. Mobility and hip flexor release is just yoga, which is part of Tantra. So Tantra is actually the original biohacking.
Yes.
It's the first and the most trusted system to awaken the body, to get people to read something to understand the body. But also Tantra was taught through gurus and the devotees, and is passed through the body. And people who are actually learning, teaching the Tantra we were taught, we actually embody it. Now there's Tantra being taught at the moment, which is, I call it spiritual McDonald's.
Yeah, I just saw it.
Yeah.
It's a great phrase.
So yes, I made Tantra mainstream, but it's shit. So we're currently in a really great festival.
Yeah.
And I'm so happy here, because actual Tantra is being taught here.
It's lived. It's really embodied, and everyone feels it, and there's this very specific vibe of love, understanding, and community. So
no trauma.
Yeah,
the focus
It's
isn't
not
on trauma. Whereas all the other festivals out there is like trauma. It's the bulk of the thing. Whereas the Tantra we were taught, and what I love about the festival that we're currently at is everybody's an Osho graduate or knew Osho.
Yes.
And that's what makes it different. And we were taught by people who knew Osho.
Yes.
So this is why we embody it, and everybody else right now is just being taught off Instagram.
Yes, or some people who have read something, or a little bit like 1 month's teacher training or something.
Weekend facilitators or have-a-go healers, that's what's happening at the moment.
And Osho is really the base. It really comes from meditation practice. Years, 4 years I was sitting every single day, 1 hour meditation, really practicing presence, feeling my body, feeling my emotions, and then really coming to a place where I could feel myself and the other one, my partner or whoever I connect with, much deeper.
So this is the thing, we escaped the Matrix. I'm currently going back into the Matrix, and I love Matrix life. But we left, and all we did was pray. For 4 hours in the morning, we would do our sadhanas, our tantric practices. 4 hours, that's a long time. We didn't have to commute anywhere. None of us has children. We didn't have to worry about going to work and making money. So if you're on a mission to find enlightenment, and you have all that time without any responsibilities and endless amount of money because you pray to a goddess called Lakshmi and money just comes, then you will reach enlightenment. So the focus in the Tantra that we've been taught and teach is presence, and presence with loving awareness leads to enlightened states and higher states of consciousness. And from there, you meet God, you become God, and create heaven on earth. And life becomes easier, and you become younger.
Yes.
It's not just about trauma.
No, it's really longevity and anti-aging.
Exactly, biohacking.
Who looks at us would never believe how we're same age. We were born in the same year. Never ever think how old we are.
What I love about where we are right now is I haven't seen a lot of people since COVID, and also I haven't seen a lot of people in COVID in normal life and everything.
Yeah.
And a lot of people, including my parents, haven't aged well. Here, everyone's got hotter, sexier, and younger, and more jacked as well.
And as well, people who are above 70s. We're not only talking people who are above 50 or something.
One of my guru crushes, I think he's 58 now.
Yeah.
It's insane.
Yeah.
And he looks like it's just a few years older than me.
It's really crazy. So
Yeah.
we can really encourage you to dive deeper into Tantra. But what is Tantra?
Tantra is the original biohacking. There are a few books, 112 Meditations to Reach Self-Realization. There's many scriptures and things out there, and it's just techniques, tools, embodied practices to awaken the body. That's what I call it. I mean, there is a 6-minute video that changed the face of Tantra, which is my video, 10 questions you always wanted to ask a Tantric sex guru, and that's a more in-depth analysis on Tantra. And for me, the reason why it went viral for such a long time and still being quoted is because it encompasses everything that is Tantra, and Neo-Tantra, and Old Tantra, New Tantra, and all the Tantras. I mean, I invented my own Tantra. TantraShaft.com, check it out.
Yeah, for me, Tantra was a very deep path of healing as well. So it's very somatic. And through all the body work we did, all the touch and all the shame and on all the reprogramming, essentially, my system could heal. So for me, it's one of the deepest tools you can have for your own healing, for your own awakening.
And I mentioned it's not about trauma. The side effect is you release a lot of trauma, and you will cry for years. I cried for the first 2 years, and I never
even
cried.
More.
Yeah. This is why we look so young. So we release lifetimes worth
oceans of tears.
Exactly,
no,
grief
is not fun. And as well,
it's messy, it's terrible, it's horrific.
Out of the blue, anxieties I never had before in my life, or depressive states, or like emotions I had no idea where they came from. And then I figured out, oh, there's not only my life, there's past lives, and then there's ancestral, and all my ancestral line has never healed any trauma. I'm from Germany, we had several wars, then religion is trauma, witch burning, whatever. The most crazy things came up. And out of the sudden, I got pictures, emotions, and I had to really release that stuff out of my body. It was insane.
Yep, that's the work. And it is...
So it's not only blissful, but it can bring you to bliss.
It's guaranteed.
Yeah.
It's actually guaranteed. Like, I was mentally, completely batshit crazy. I was an alcoholic, drug addict, severe depression, wanted to kill myself. If I drank any more alcohol, the doctors said I would be dead. They said that twice when I was 26 and 33. I was smoking every day. I was just a classic person from London who had a really stressful job, living in the matrix and not knowing how to, therapy doesn't work, AA doesn't work, NA doesn't work, nothing works.
But then how did you figure out about Tantra?
I just got sober. One day I couldn't get drunk at Burning Man, 2014. And then there's nothing worse than being sober, a man, and horny, which results in social anxiety. But my life was actually making out with people and working at sex positive events and doing really big live sex shows. I would make love in choreographed performance art pieces, dressed as a unicorn. So yeah, I had this life and it just ended, and then I had to discover who I was. And then I started hearing the voices, and I thought I was going insane. And then I went down the rabbit hole of asking people on Facebook what's going on. I keep on hearing these voices, and I keep on seeing visions when I'm making love. I start hallucinating, and it sounds pretty cool. And someone helped me, and someone said, your light body's being activated, your shaman body's being activated, Kundalini. I'm like, what is all this stuff? So Google, YouTube.
Wow.
And then I found a whole... a rabbit hole of videos Infinite Waters and spirit science and things like that. I was like, oh my god, I'm turning into a superhero, this is amazing. And then
it's super exciting to learn about it.
It is, yeah.
I loved it.
It's like, wow, I could give people orgasms just by my hands. It's like, what? And it's great. And then because I'm looking for love, and I love love, and relationships is my favorite thing, I couldn't find love. And I always had a girlfriend or had a lover or something. And I was deeply polyamorous back then. To have an incredible love life, to having nothing was like a complete... It's like I lost my identity, basically.
Through the polyamory life?
Just getting sober.
Oh, wow. Okay.
Yeah. I've not been able to get drunk anymore. And then I watched a video, and Infinite Water said, you'll find the ones you love doing the things you love doing.
Yeah.
And my brain said, vaginas. Become very good at vaginas. That's when I started my tantric path, and that's when I became a tantric gigolo, and that's when I started making more money than my 6-figure advertising salary. And then I just shift from working 8-hour days or working 3 hours making love dressed as a unicorn, or working working in advertising wasn't actually that stressful. It was such an easy job. I was very good at my job. Whatever I do, I have this perfectionist mentality, so I will be an overachiever in that field, like I was in advertising. So I applied that mentality to vaginas.
So, and now having practiced Tantra for so many years, how can we apply Tantra to leadership?
So Tantra is a great way to, I feel different than most people. I have a very relaxed nervous system. I'm super chilled. In a stressful situation, I breathe through it.
It's big.
Yeah, and I bring this energy of joy to the workplace. So I'm a CEO of a tech company. I run my 6-figure business in my tantric business. And I manage teams, and I'm helping a lot of when I was running one of my companies, I had a lot of mentally ill men working with me. They all had some kind of addiction problem. They had some kind of severe anxiety. It's very common in Gen Z as well. And I just coach every Saturday outside of work. I just coached them. We talk about our emotions. I developed a technique called coffee sharing meditations, and everything we did. Sharing? You know how we do sharings at festivals, morning sharing?
Yeah.
But we do it with coffee.
Okay,
so coffee sharing meditations.
Okay, I get it.
So that's how we build trust and intimacy in businesses. So yeah, Tantra is one of the greatest ways to embody, to be an inspiration, to inspire others. Because when you're in a spiraling upward inner talk and your life is just like spiraling up, anyone in your toric field coming into your energetic frequency starts to rise up as well. So people who are feeling low will feel better.
Yes. People
who are struggling won't struggle as much, because we have a thing called mirror neurons, and if you're glowing from all this sexual life force energy, people feel it and they want more of it. Doesn't mean they're going to suck you dry like energetic vampires. Also, if you believe in that, just don't surround yourself with shit people. If you surround yourself with better versions of yourself, if you're surrounding yourself with incredible humans, then you're not spiraling down and being drained by people. You're actually smart, uplifted, exactly, and you get to the next level in wherever you're trying to get to.
So to reach this kind of state, when I understand you right, first we need to go through our own work. We need to realize what kind of filters and programs and stuff we have, integrate all the little children, and then being able to hold our nervous systems. So which other qualities do you see in Tantra which really would support leaders, like C-level, high-level leaders in the world?
Definitely having a meditation practice, an embodiment practice, a good community, and also, depending on your genitals, a pussy practice or a mindful masturbation practice or penis practice. For sure, you need one of them. And we all have one. That's why we run sexual energy through our systems and we get younger.
Yes. What are your favorite practices? Is there, can you maybe give some examples what people can take from that podcast?
So my morning ritual, I wake up and do my mantras, which is a part of the tantras, which is, I have these mala beads. In every single religion you have, like in Judaism, the Pope, my mum who's Muslim, they all, and my sister who's a Buddhist, have these 108 beads. So I have a set next to my bed, and I say, I love my life, I love my body, I love myself, and I love making 10 grand a day. I love my life, I love my body, I love myself, and I love making 10 grand a day. I love my life, I love my body, I love myself, and I love me. So that's my mantra. That's what I do.
What was the last sentence?
And I love making 10 grand a day. I'm playing a different game to spiritual people. So I'm in the impact race. Yes. And that money comes from people you help. So I'm doing good in the world. So that's the first thing, a mantra. You can, if you're trying to become more masculine, you can say Om Namo Shiva. If you're trying to create more abundance in your life, you could say Om Shri Mahalakshmi Namaha. So there's all these different seed mantras and mantras that you could use depending on what you're trying to achieve or clear in your life. Then I wake up and do a bit of breath work, which leads me into my mindful masturbation practice. And this practice is known as the shaft method. And this is something I teach men and women, but at the moment I've done this automated course for men, but I coach women in doing it. And it's the same things for different bodies. And this 8-minute practice is connecting to the earth, bringing in that feminine energy into your body, you're self-pleasuring, and it's not jerking off to porn. It's a very specific way of self-pleasuring with conscious touch. You visualize yourself coming into your higher self. You fly into the galactic consciousness. I'm a dude, so I make love to my inner feminine. If it's a woman, they make love to the inner masculine, and you bring all that energy into your body, and then you have minimum 3 orgasms. Yes, you separate the ejaculation and the orgasm, so you don't deplete your energy, and you ejaculate. If you're a woman, have 3 internal orgasms, and then you release that energy into the great universe, and you lie down and receive. And then you start your day, 8-minute practice, and then I hit the gym for 3 hours.
For 3 hours?
I've got 3 herniated discs at the moment.
That's quite long.
I gotta fix that. And that's a good thing about Tantra, like, I'm so connected to my mind-muscle connection and also understanding how the body works that I could heal stuff. That's fascinating.
Yes,
I've had so many illnesses and I don't have them anymore. But I got to maintain the practices so it doesn't come back again. Because if you stop the practices, all of the illnesses come back.
Not all, but part of them. I had that as well.
A whisper of it.
Yeah, so really I was studying with Anja Akaya as well, and he really trains how to use the sexual energy in the body to heal parts. Like for me, IBS, for example, is a big topic. And yes, it's true. And we don't have this regular grounding and meditation and pleasure practices. It's easier for the diseases to arise again.
Yeah.
So then until the rest of your life, you're going to do 3 hours gym?
I'm going to eventually, I've got, instead of 3 herniated discs, I've got 2 herniated discs. So I got to go and sit down and figure out a lot of stuff around the human body. And as I'm an Aquarian, every time I figure something out, I tell everybody how to do it. And that's how I help raise the vibration on the planet. And that's why I've had huge global movements, because I'm a sexy, nice guy who's out there to help as many people as possible. That's how you make 10 grand a day.
So, and what is it that excites your heart at the moment?
I'm playing the financial awakening game, the impact game. So I'm looking for the biggest stages on the planet to create a thing called the Shaft Show and get into the governments. So activating the leaders.
The vision is the Shaft Show.
The Shaft Show.
For the presidents of the nations.
Yes, Finland for 2 years in a row won the happiest country in the world. I have a system that helps humans become happy. I've overcome depression, anxiety, and a whole bunch of mental problems, and I'm no longer mad. It's great. I'm very happy every day. Some days not so much if I don't do my practices, but most of the time I'm pretty joyous. So I figured out a system to help anyone overcome social anxiety, because I also had that. And
what is it about, the system?
The system
How can I imagine this? The steps.
So the Shaft Show is the greatest show on earth. Where
and
the
we
star...
will have it at the festival.
Exactly. It's where the star of the show is you. If we live in a simulation, then the ultimate aim of the game is for you to become yourself. And Tantra helps you release and break through the shackles we've all been placed under, letting go of the layers of conditioning from the town you grew up in, the country you grew up in, your religion, and so many other things. And once you break free, you become you. So that's what my show does. It puts everyone through this process where everyone's connected to their hearts, complete strangers connecting. I've designed a very special hug that releases more oxytocin, serotonin, dopamine, where you literally can have an orgasm in your heart with a specially designed hug. It's never been. It's great. It's never been done before. I just, I have an advertising background, so I've taken all the best bits and made something incredible. And through pop music, dubstep, I get people shouting affirmations and connections. And you've heard of ecstatic dance. This is ecstatic connections. So I've developed a new practice that has never been done before. So that's my thing, and the results speak for itself. So what I want to do is create a product to approach the local councils, get go to the Arts Council, go to the local governments and say, hey, implement this and you'll have a happier town, city, country. That's the vision.
Wow, that's a big vision, and I love that mission.
Yeah. Wembley Stadium, here I come.
Yes, absolutely. Same. I have the same vision. So I want really to have these kind of experiences in the big stadiums in Germany. Like for me, Olympic Stadium, Berlin, Munich, we all gonna rock it. We have an amazing team here at the moment at the festival, and we if we put this on stage, it will bring so much collective healing, and it's needed. It's really needed that we come back to our bodies, to our hearts, and into deep connection with each other and with Earth. Because if we cannot feel it, the humanity will keep on destroying it. I think this mission we share deeply in our hearts.
And it's something that we've been doing. We've just been doing it on a desert island full of sexy tantric people who are living forever and having a nice time.
Yes, but we decided to come back to the nature.
Exactly.
To really bring that into manifestation and not staying in the little cute island, which was nice.
Which is nice, yeah.
Yes. What does masculinity mean for you?
I'm discovering that. I used to identify as a lesbian. So the reason why I'm so good at yoni massages is because I dated lots of lesbians and they taught me a lot of tricks, but also I'm highly trained and certified in yoni massages. And I'm just discovering what it is to be in my masculine. I was in a matriarchal society. You might notice that it's just women where we've been. Everything's just run by women. So we don't have the patriarchy problem. We have a bit of a matriarchy situation.
Overload.
Yeah. So what happens when they tell you to go vegan and eat a lot of soy? And what happens when they say your desire is bad and your masculinity is toxic and you're surrounded in an echo chamber that everyone is a victim, helping victims? This perpetual cycle of being in your masculine power is dangerous. What would happen to somebody in that circle for 10 years? They will self-castrate themselves. The women won't cut off your balls. You'll do it yourself. So that's what's happening out there. Women wanted us to be emotionally available. They wanted us to be as emotional as them. So now we're emotionally available and we cry a lot, and they don't like it anymore. They wanted us to show up and do yoga and be like them and be vegan just like them, so we did. And now they say we're really flaky, just like them.
Yes.
They told us testosterone was really bad. Testosterone, bad. Being in your masculinity, very, very dangerous, very bad, very bad. So we, people in the spiritual scene, we got brainwashed by women. And now I'm actually reclaiming my masculinity by doing my morning practices. If you're a man, you got to have a testicle massage practice to activate the testosterone in your balls. That's testicles, testosterone. That's where it's all coming from. So I'm actually reclaiming my masculinity by getting jacked as fuck, pumping shit tons of testosterone back into my body, and remembering the shaft method, my meditation practice, where I activate my sexual energy every day. Not to disown it, because I'm meant to be celibate until I meet my king. Because that's what they told me to do.
I have another little biohacking for you.
Ooh.
There's a very specific product developed by my company on Copenhagen, and it is developed because of the problem you were just sharing. Lots of men on Kopangan, Bali, and other places became too feminine. And then men sat down and thinking about, okay, what can we do about it? And they developed a product called Manergy.
I've had Manergy.
I have it with me. I'm happy to give you
give me
one.
another. Give me another packet. I've actually had it, and it takes a little while for you to notice it's kicking in.
Yes, it's true.
But it actually fucking works.
Ha! Ha! Amazing, you see? Yeah. So try it out, guys. It helps with your testosterone.
That's funny.
So how long did it work? Did it take for you until you felt it?
Thing is, I just didn't know. I gave up coffee. I've been sober for 10 years. So August the 31st or something was my 10th year anniversary of being sober, and I decided to give up coffee. That's when Manergy came into my life. That's when this coffee replacement, refreshing, like orange drink I was drinking from Germany came into my life. I started doing my mindful masturbation and started going to a gym for 3 hours. So I implemented everything just because I stopped drinking coffee. Now I don't know what worked because I stacked up all of these things.
Check it again.
Exactly. So I need to have some of that to see which got me from, let's say 10 out of 10 is the happiest you've ever been. I'm usually running on if I'm not doing my practices, 4 out of 10. On a good day, 6 out of 10.
What is your main biohacking for depression, anxiety you mentioned before?
It's all mindful masturbation. Everything is literally that one thing.
Again, coming back to sexuality.
Exactly,
to working with that energy, with this life force energy.
And also just knowing what you want. I had depression and anxiety. I mainly had depression because I was addicted to the past and all the women that fucked me over in all my relationships and all the friends that had sex with my girlfriends or fiancés. So, when you believe in love and marriage until death do us part, and when somebody betrays your trust, then your life is over because you're meant to marry that person until someone died, which is called monogamy. So depression and addiction to the past was a very alive thing. I didn't know what being present was, and I sure as hell didn't know what gratitude felt like, because addiction to the past, that is bad. There's nothing that's good in the past, so you can't look at it and go, oh, that was a great thing that happened. So it takes a lot of work to drop out of depression and see all the shit things that happened in your life as all the gold that made you the man or woman that you are now. So it takes a lot of work.
But when I understood you right, really the first thing is to cultivate your self-pleasure practice. That you really raise, biohack your system essentially, right? Serotonin, dopamine, to really bring more bliss up and have a gratitude practice.
Well, also this 8-minute practice is a miracle cure for loneliness and isolation. So you're releasing oxytocin from your own body. So you're not just But
with having orgasms or not?
So it's a full body experience. So you're touching yourself. If you're a woman, you'll be doing breast massage, and that releases oxytocin from your breast. For men, you'll be touching yourself. Very often, men only touch their dicks, and the only time they touch again is when they have sex for 3.5 minutes. That's not going to release a lot of oxytocin. Women touch way more in just in normal life.
Yeah, we love touching. I'm a touching person. I love to touch. I love to receive and give touch to all genders.
So dudes...
Animals.
So a lot of men only touch for sex.
Yes.
And they only will touch someone they want to have sex with.
Yeah, and here comes the problem. Our nervous systems need touch.
Yeah.
So they cannot calm down when we don't have touch or hugs. This is why this Kopangan hug is, I think, 20-30 seconds, so that the nervous system really calms down and vibrates in the same frequency.
Yeah, there's when I'm doing the Shaft show, I talk about Virginia Satir, she's a famous family psychologist, and she said you need, I think, 4 hugs a day for survival, 8 hugs a day for maintenance, and 12 hugs a day for growth. We're like puppy dogs. We need, this level of connection. And with this method that I've created, you're releasing the oxytocin. You're releasing dopamine, serotonin, endorphins, and all the great things in your chemicals that actually get you from life is shit to life is bearable, from I'm not enough to I'm actually a little bit okay with myself now.
Okay, but like if people are single and have stressful lives, or even if they're not single, how to get to 12 hugs a day? Like often people
This is why
don't
we have
that.
This is why we have the mindful masturbation practice. So you're self-resourcing.
Okay.
That's the key. And
That's
like
the
I was,
key. Or you have a little puppy dog and you cuddle this puppy dog.
well, I was living at my parents' house in Bexhill-on-Sea, and I was on a 10 out of 10 happy. I've run out of Manage at this point.
We will check how it will be when he gets it.
Exactly. And I still continue my mindful masturbation practice, and I'm still on a 10 out of 10 happy. Yeah. Living at my parents' house.
Wow.
I had a great time. Like, I have these rose-tinted memories of, like, I'm looking forward to go back there for November and December because I had such an incredible time there.
Wow. That feels really, really lovely, actually, to be able to have this connection with your parents and to feel so home there. Because this is what we all need and crave for, like a real home, to have belonging, to have community and family.
I mean, there's no one there. That's why I loved it. It's zero distractions. It's just me, my little brother, and the hometown I grew up in, and just walking around memory lane and going, oh, this is really nice now.
But you've been abroad for, I don't know,
10 years.
Minimum. Yeah.
Yeah.
So it took you a while to go out so that you were able to come back.
This is why I love Matrix Life, because I just forgot. We live in this perpetual cycle of remembering and forgetting, being enlightened and not.
Okay. I have another question.
Yes.
I would love to hear from you. If you would have a magic stick and create a Tantra festival, how would that look like?
Ooh. Then with that magic stick, I would make me the main MC. We'll definitely have a lot of great musicians there. Like Aware and Liquid Bloom and Skrillex, and have a lot of tantric experience. It'd be definitely sober. So a lot of people say it's a conscious festival, and people say, yeah, you mean we could take mushrooms? It's like, no, you're sober.
Nothing. Because the bliss states come through the touch, through the experiences we create.
I would also say strictly no smoking as well, and no coffee.
Same. Yeah.
I would say that. And then there would be ecstatic dance every morning.
Every morning. I miss it so much.
Yeah. Getting the world's best people in the field of Tantra who actually teach actual Tantra, not the spiritual McDonald's. What I like is not too many options. So I like collective transformation, and we all go for it together. So believe it or not, I'd actually prefer everyone doing the same thing. Maybe 2 options.
Yeah, I love to have 2 options, and I'm really much into collective healing.
Yeah.
Like I have studied that for 10 years now with my spiritual teacher, and it's so fascinating how we really can heal, not individually, but big groups and collective fields through this, through collective practices.
And I would definitely make it highly embodied. Fun talks is always good because I do great talks. But
laughing is super happy.
Laughing is super happy. Keeping it playful. Keep not getting too many people into this trauma. And you're only allowed to come if you have boundaries like a ninja, and you don't identify as being traumatized or on your healing journey. So we have a very safe container where everybody has boundaries like a ninja already. So we don't have to reteach them something that they already know. Everyone speaks the same language around consent, but it's not consent culture gone crazy, because that's actually happening right now. And having a lot of high-level, empowered badasses, all of them world changers. They've somehow impacted humanity in a positive way. And having that collective field very powerful, very strong. So these individuals come together and they have to heal, grow, and collaborate together and create together. And have juicy temples and like high-level sex magic rituals and really high-level sexual practices that no one's ever seen before. Like one of my common main shows I do is a double yoni massage called a Twin Goddess Awakening, done on a huge stage in front of hundreds of people.
Wow.
with a live orchestra.
Ooh, I love this part.
So
I haven't seen that yet.
No one in these fields have
Wow.
seen it, because
Where have you done it?
I do it in a thing called the Millionaire Bubble, the higher level festivals that I go and teach at. So yeah.
Okay, so
It's a different vibe. It's literally, like I said, no one's talking about trauma because they've already written #1 bestsellers around trauma. And yes, they healed, we healed, and we moved on into another dimension called play.
Bliss and play.
Yeah.
This is where we want to take you.
Yeah.
Right, any last wisdom you would like to share?
Yeah, if you take anything from this, take my mantra. I love my life, I love my body, I love myself. Do it for 21 days and see how your life changes. You do it 108 times. And if you want the bonus round, which is I love my life, I love my body, I love myself, and I love making 10 grand a day, you'll be surprised what happens in your life, because I started making 10 grand from, just giving yoni massages. It takes a lot of yonis to get to 10 grand a month. But I started making 10 grand a month. So, and I got a new business, and everything exploded once I added that last bit on it. Or the shaft method. Like, get yourself a mindful masturbation practice. If you're a man, call me. I'll coach you on how to overcome erectile dysfunction, premature ejaculation, porn addiction, and separating your orgasm and ejaculation, and your girlfriend will thank me for it. And for women, if you want to become multi-orgasmic, I got you covered as well. I got this whole systemization on pleasure, where you can feel into your body, but also relay what you like to a man and speak it to his man mind without shutting him down. So, yeah.
Yeah, thank you so much for sharing this. And if you feel more safe with a woman, I'm here as well to guide you into your embodiment and into your pleasure. And if you would like to have more information, you will find them in the script under this podcast. And we are looking very much forward to see you on our socials and at the Tantra Festival next year.
See you later.
Much
Bye.
love.